Welcome to English Empire, where your journey to mastering English takes a bold new direction. If you've found yourself stuck in the cycle of endless studying, grinding through textbooks, memorizing vocabulary lists, and dissecting grammar rules, this is the moment everything changes. It's time to put down the books and let your mouth do the work. In this series, we're revealing a powerful secret to fluency. Stop studying, start speaking. Forget the traditional methods that leave you with knowledge but no confidence to speak. True fluency isn't about memorizing. It's about speaking, training your mouth and building the muscles needed for natural, effortless communication. This isn't about cramming more information into your brain. It's about using your voice to bring the language to life. From mouth training exercises to daily speaking routines that boost your confidence, this guide will transform how you think about learning English. Ready to break free from textbooks and speak your way to fluency? If you are excited to speak English with confidence, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks to accelerate your fluency. Join the English Empire community and take the first step toward mastering English today. Let's start the journey. Fluency in a language is often seen as the ultimate goal for language learners. However, many learners focus on traditional methods of studying, such as grammar rules, vocabulary lists, and memorization of textbooks. These methods, while useful to some extent, often fail to provide real-life fluency because they don't train the most important tool you have in language learning, your mouth. The limits of traditional study methods. When we think about language learning, many of us picture ourselves buried in textbooks or listening to audio recordings. These approaches, although valuable for expanding vocabulary and understanding grammatical structures, don't engage the muscle memory and real-world application needed for fluency. It's like learning to drive by reading the manual. You may understand the theory behind the mechanics of driving, but you won't know how to control the car until you're behind the wheel. In fact, most learners spend a disproportionate amount of time focusing on reading and writing, neglecting speaking, which is arguably the most important skill in communication. This is especially true in a language like English, where the nuances of pronunciation, rhythm, and tone play a significant role in conveying meaning. Traditional study methods often provide a passive understanding of the language, but fail to develop the active speaking skills necessary for fluent communication. Speaking is the key to real fluency. To understand why speaking is the key to fluency, we must first look at how language is processed. Think about how you learned your first language. When you were a child, your focus wasn't on grammar lessons or reading books. Instead, it was on mimicking the sounds you heard from those around you. You learned language by speaking it, not by memorizing vocabulary lists or grammar charts. This method of learning is known as active learning and is the best way to develop real-world fluency. In a sense, your mouth is the primary instrument for mastering English. But it doesn't just mean physically speaking. Your mouth is also linked to other important aspects of language learning, like hearing and processing sounds, understanding intonation, and making connections between words and their meanings. Fluency is about automaticity, the ability to produce sentences and phrases without consciously thinking about grammar rules or vocabulary. The role of mouth training in developing fluency. Many learners fail to recognize the importance of mouth training in fluency development. But just as we develop muscles in our body through exercise, we need to strengthen the muscles in our mouth for clear, confident speech. English pronunciation involves several muscles, particularly in the tongue, lips, and jaw, each playing a critical role in producing clear sounds. If you've ever tried to speak English and felt your tongue or jaw tense up, you know that speaking isn't just about using words correctly. It's also about training your mouth to move in the correct ways. When you focus on speaking and practice the right physical movements, your body learns to automatically produce the sounds of English more naturally. This process of muscle memory is crucial for fluency because it removes the mental load of having to think about how to form words as you speak. The psychological impact of speaking on confidence. When you start speaking English, something powerful happens psychologically. You begin to feel more confident in your ability to communicate. One of the most common barriers to fluency is the fear of making mistakes, which often leads to hesitation and anxiety when speaking. This anxiety can hinder your progress, even if you know all the right words and grammar rules. By focusing on speaking rather than just studying, you shift your mindset from one of passive learning to active engagement. You begin to use English in real situations, and each conversation builds your confidence. Over time, this leads to a more relaxed and natural speaking style. The more you speak, the less you worry about making mistakes, and this confidence directly impacts your ability to express yourself fluently. Why studying grammar is not enough. Grammar is undoubtedly an important part of learning any language, but it's not enough by itself to achieve fluency. The problem is that grammar rules are often abstract and removed from real-life communication. You may know the rules for sentence structure, but when it comes to speaking, you might find yourself stuck in your head, trying to remember the rules rather than just conversing naturally. Additionally, many learners spend so much time focusing on grammar that they forget about one of the most important aspects of speaking, fluency in delivery. Grammar is about accuracy, but fluency is about speed and smoothness. In everyday conversations, no one stops to analyze each sentence structure before speaking. Instead, they focus on conveying their message quickly and naturally. This doesn't mean that grammar is important. It simply means that studying grammar in isolation won't automatically translate to fluency. It's only through active speaking and using the language in context that grammar becomes second nature. In other words, speaking isn't just about using the right words, it's about using them quickly, without pausing to think about rules. Overcoming the fear of speaking. For many learners, the fear of speaking is the most significant obstacle to fluency. Whether it's the fear of making mistakes, being judged, or simply not knowing what to say, this anxiety often paralyzes language learners. But the truth is, making mistakes is an essential part of the learning process. Every time you make an error while speaking, you're getting one step closer to mastering the language. The key to overcoming this fear is simply to speak more. The more you practice, the more comfortable you become with the language, and the less you worry about mistakes. One effective strategy to combat fear is to speak in low-pressure environments. For example, you can practice speaking with a language partner. Record yourself speaking, or engage in speaking activities that don't require immediate interaction with native speakers. These exercises allow you to focus solely on the act of speaking, without worrying about making mistakes in front of others. The truth is, fluency comes from speaking, not from being perfect. In fact, it's often the mistakes that lead to the most valuable learning experiences. Mistakes reveal areas for improvement and give you the opportunity to refine your speaking skills. Speaking creates real-world learning opportunities. When you start speaking English, you open the door to countless real-world learning opportunities. Unlike textbook learning, which can sometimes feel isolated or detached from real life, speaking forces you to engage with language in dynamic situations. For example, speaking with native speakers or participating in conversations exposes you to idiomatic expressions, colloquialisms, and slang words that are rarely found in textbooks. Moreover, speaking forces you to think on your feet. You can no longer rely on the time and space to carefully formulate your thoughts like you can when writing. This sharpens your cognitive skills and forces you to process information faster. As a result, speaking helps you not only improve your fluency, but also your listening skills, comprehension, and critical thinking abilities. This process is invaluable in real-world settings, where you will often have to process and respond to information quickly. Whether you're in a business meeting, traveling, or just engaging in a casual conversation, speaking is the skill that allows you to navigate these situations effectively. The role of active listening in speaking. While speaking is important, it's equally essential to focus on active listening. The connection between speaking and listening is undeniable. One cannot exist without the other. When you listen actively, you not only understand what's being said, but also learn how to replicate the rhythm, intonation, and vocabulary used in real conversations. This forms a key part of language acquisition, as it provides a model for how you should speak. Listening helps you absorb the patterns of the language so you can start to speak with more natural flow. If you're always reading from a script or memorizing phrases, your language will sound robotic and unnatural. But by actively listening to real conversations, whether it's a podcast, a TV show, or an interaction with a native speaker, you train your ear to pick up on nuances that will help you speak more naturally. Incorporating both speaking and listening into your practice routine is the most effective way to speed up your path to fluency. By listening, you're subconsciously reinforcing the patterns you will need when it's your turn to speak. Speaking and immersion. One of the most effective ways to gain fluency is through immersion. Immersion is a method where you surround yourself with the language, ensuring that you're constantly exposed to it in all its forms. Speaking is one of the most powerful immersion strategies because it forces you to engage with the language on a deeper level. When you immerse yourself in English-speaking environments, you challenge yourself to use the language regularly, forcing your brain to adapt and learn quickly. This can be done by traveling to English-speaking countries, participating in English-speaking communities online, or engaging in regular conversation with others. The beauty of immersion is that it pushes you out of your comfort zone and into situations where you must think and react in English, often under time pressure. This simulates real-life interactions and accelerates your learning process. Moreover, speaking regularly helps you internalize language structures, vocabulary, and expressions more effectively than just studying them passively. Understanding the role of your mouth in speaking. Before we get into the specific exercises, it's essential to understand how your mouth contributes to the production of language. When you speak, multiple muscles in your mouth, jaw, tongue, lips, and throat work together to form the sounds, words, and sentences you produce. These muscles include the lips. They help in forming sounds like B, P, and M. They also assist in producing vowel sounds. The tongue. The tongue is responsible for articulating a wide range of sounds, including consonants like T, D, L, and S, as well as certain vowel sounds. It moves in different directions within the mouth to create these sounds. The jaw, the movement of the jaw, helps in opening and closing the mouth, making it easier to produce different sounds. The throat and vocal cords play a role in producing sound vibrations and controlling the pitch and volume of your voice. While these parts of your mouth are often taken for granted, their coordinated movement is vital for fluent and clear speech. Just as you would practice specific exercises to strengthen a muscle group in your body, the same can be done for these muscles. Regular practice with specific mouth training exercises will improve their efficiency and coordination, allowing you to speak more fluidly and with greater confidence. Essential mouth training exercises. The following mouth training exercises are designed to strengthen the muscles involved in speech, improve articulation, and help you develop the automaticity needed for fluent speaking. While these exercises may seem simple, they are powerful tools for improving your overall speaking ability. A. Lip and jaw flexibility. One of the key factors in fluent speech is being able to move your lips and jaw freely and quickly. Tension in these areas can lead to unclear pronunciation and difficulty speaking quickly. To develop flexibility in your lips and jaw, try the following exercises. Lip puckers and stretches. Start by puckering your lips as if you're going to whistle and hold for a few seconds. Then stretch your lips as wide as possible, as if you're smiling. Alternate between puckering and stretching your lips for 1 to 2 minutes. This exercise helps loosen the muscles around your lips, making it easier to form sounds clearly. Jaw movements. Open your mouth as wide as possible, and then close it gently. Repeat this motion for 30 seconds. Then, move your jaw from side to side in a slow, controlled motion. This exercise helps relieve tension in the jaw muscles, promoting smooth, unrestricted speech. B. Tongue strengthening and flexibility. The tongue is one of the most important muscles involved in speaking, especially when it comes to making consonant sounds. A stiff or weak tongue can prevent you from articulating words clearly and quickly. To improve your tongue strength and flexibility, try the following exercises. Tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are excellent for improving tongue agility and clarity. Start with simple ones, such as "She sells seashells by the seashore," or "How much wood would a woodchuck chuck?" Repeat each tongue twister slowly, paying attention to the precise movement of your tongue. Gradually increase your speed as you become more comfortable. This will help your tongue move quickly and accurately when speaking. Tongue circles. Stick your tongue out as far as it will go, and then move it in small circles, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. Do this for 30 seconds. This exercise improves the flexibility of the tongue and helps with articulation. Touching the roof of your mouth. With your mouth open, try to touch the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue. Hold this position for a few seconds and then relax. Repeat this exercise for a minute or two. This movement is crucial for forming certain English sounds, especially the T and D sounds. C. Breath control and voice projection. Fluency isn't just about forming words, it's also about how you project your voice and control your breath. Breath control is essential for speaking clearly and confidently, especially in longer conversations. Without proper breath support, your speech can become breathy, weak, or rushed. To improve breath control and voice projection, try these exercises. Deep breathing. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing your lungs to fill completely with air. Hold your breath for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this deep breathing exercise 5 to 10 times. Deep breathing helps you relax and gives you more control over your voice. Voice humming. Start by humming at a low pitch and gradually increase to a higher pitch, then lower it again. This exercise helps you find your natural voice pitch and improves vocal strength. You can also try humming while focusing on controlling your breath, making sure each hum lasts for several seconds. Sustained sounds. Choose a vowel sound such as ah, e, or oo, and hold the sound as long as possible. Repeat this exercise with different vowel sounds, trying to maintain a steady volume and smooth pitch. This will help with both breath control and the steadiness of your voice during conversation. D. Articulation drills for clear pronunciation. Clear pronunciation is vital for fluent communication. Often, non-native speakers struggle with certain sounds in English, either due to their native language's phonetic rules or because they haven't trained their mouth to produce these sounds. To work on your articulation, try the following drills. Vowel sound practice. English has many vowel sounds that may not exist in your native language. Practice these sounds by repeating words like beat, bit, bat, and but. Focus on the subtle differences in how each vowel is pronounced. Repeat each word slowly and clearly, paying close attention to the shape of your mouth. Consonant clusters. English has several consonant clusters, 2 or more consonants in a row, that can be difficult to pronounce. Practice words with clusters such as strength, twelfth, and scrawny. Start by slowly pronouncing each sound, then gradually increase speed while maintaining clarity. Shadowing technique. Shadowing involves listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say immediately, trying to match their speed, pronunciation, and intonation as closely as possible. You can use podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks for this exercise. The goal is to mimic not just the words, but also the rhythm, pauses, and emotional tone of the speaker. This technique helps you improve your pronunciation and intonation, making your speech sound more natural and fluent. Building muscle memory through repetition. Fluency is largely about muscle memory. The more you practice using the muscles in your mouth, the more automatically they will respond when you need them. Repetition is the key to developing this muscle memory. When you practice speaking and mouth training exercises, you are essentially teaching your body how to produce sounds naturally and automatically. Over time, these exercises will become second nature, and you'll notice that your pronunciation and fluency improve. To maximize the benefits of repetition, it's important to practice regularly and in varied contexts. For example, instead of repeating the same tongue twisters every day, try practicing them in different situations, while walking, sitting, or even while doing other activities. Similarly, use vocabulary and grammar from your studies in natural conversation, rather than memorizing isolated sentences. This helps your mouth adapt to the rhythms and flow of English speech. Speaking practice in real contexts. While mouth training exercises are crucial for developing the physical aspects of speaking, it's also essential to practice speaking in real-world contexts. Engaging in conversations with native speakers or fellow learners helps you apply the techniques you've learned and adapt them to actual communication scenarios. The more you speak, the more your mouth will become accustomed to the rhythms and flow of English conversation. This is where fluency truly develops. The key is consistency. The more you integrate speaking practice into your daily routine, the faster you'll see improvement. Building a speaking practice routine. The foundation of any successful language learning journey is consistency. If you want to become fluent in English, it's essential to practice speaking on a daily basis. Just as you wouldn't expect to get stronger by working out once a month, you won't develop fluency by practicing once a week. Instead, aim to incorporate speaking into your daily life as much as possible. A. Set daily speaking goals. One of the best ways to stay consistent with speaking practice is to set clear, achievable goals. These goals should focus on daily speaking practice, ensuring that you speak in English every day. Here are some examples of speaking goals you can set. Speak for 5 to 10 minutes daily. Commit to speaking in English for at least 5 to 10 minutes every day. This could be as simple as talking to yourself about your day or reading out loud from a book or article in English. Engage in a 10 to 20-minute conversation. If you have a language partner or a tutor, aim to have a conversation with them for at least 10 to 20 minutes daily. The goal is to practice speaking in real-life situations where you need to respond spontaneously. Record yourself speaking. Recording yourself can help you hear how you sound, allowing you to identify areas for improvement. Aim to record yourself speaking about a specific topic or summarizing a podcast or news article in English. These goals should be tailored to your current level of English proficiency. If you're just starting, 5 to 10 minutes a day might be enough to get you into the habit. If you're more advanced, try to challenge yourself with longer, more complex conversations. B. Create a speaking schedule. Incorporating speaking into your daily routine means making time for it. You don't need to set aside hours each day, but you should have dedicated time each day when speaking English becomes part of your day. Here are some ways to incorporate speaking practice into your schedule. Morning routine. Start your day by speaking aloud about your plans for the day, your thoughts, or any recent events. This can help warm up your vocal muscles and get you into the English mindset. During commute or free time. Use spare moments during your commute or breaks to listen to English audio, podcasts, audiobooks, etc., and then repeat or summarize what you've heard. This helps you engage with the language throughout the day. Nightly review. Before bed, spend 5 to 10 minutes summarizing your day in English, either speaking out loud or writing a journal entry. This is a good way to reinforce new vocabulary and practice fluency. C. Make speaking a habit in different contexts. In addition to dedicated speaking practice, try to find ways to use English in your everyday life. This could mean engaging in conversations with native speakers or fellow learners, practicing English in various contexts, and using English as much as possible outside of structured speaking times. Use English in daily tasks. Practice speaking in English while performing daily activities like cooking, shopping, or exercising. For example, describe what you're doing aloud in English. I'm chopping vegetables, I'm lifting weights, etc. Talk to yourself. Don't wait for others to practice with you. If you're alone, practice speaking by narrating your actions or talking about what's on your mind. This helps you become more comfortable using the language naturally. Join conversation groups. There are numerous online platforms where you can join language exchange groups or find speaking partners. Whether it's a formal language exchange or a casual chat with a native speaker, conversation groups are a great way to practice speaking regularly. Overcoming common challenges. Even with a solid speaking routine in place, you may encounter challenges along the way. Common obstacles include lack of confidence, fear of making mistakes, and the temptation to revert to your native language. Let's address these challenges and explore strategies to overcome them. A. Overcoming fear of mistakes. It's normal to feel anxious when speaking in a second language, especially when you're worried about making mistakes. But remember, making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process. It's through mistakes that we learn, improve, and develop fluency. To overcome this fear, embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Each mistake is a chance to refine your pronunciation or expand your vocabulary. Instead of feeling discouraged, use mistakes as a stepping stone for improvement. Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal of speaking isn't to be perfect, it's to communicate effectively. Even if you make mistakes, as long as your message is understood, you're succeeding. Practice in a low-pressure environment. If you're afraid of speaking in front of others, start by practicing with a trusted language partner, tutor, or even in front of a mirror. Gradually, you'll become more comfortable and confident. B. Staying motivated. Language learning can be a long and sometimes challenging journey. It's easy to feel discouraged if you don't see immediate results. To stay motivated, track your progress. Keep a log of your speaking activities. This will help you see how much you've improved over time. You can note down milestones like your first 5-minute conversation or your ability to speak without translating. Celebrate small wins. Every improvement, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. If you manage to use a new phrase correctly in a conversation or understand something without needing subtitles, give yourself credit. Mix up your routine. If you start to feel bored or frustrated with your practice, try new activities or approaches. This could mean switching up your conversation partners, joining a new speaking group, or trying different types of media for language exposure, like watching movies or participating in voice challenges. C. Dealing with frustration. There will be times when progress feels slow or you encounter frustrating plateaus. When this happens, it's important to remind yourself of the reasons why you started learning English in the first place. Patience is key. Fluent speaking comes gradually. If you're struggling, try these strategies. Take breaks. Sometimes stepping away from practice for a brief period can help reset your mindset and re-energize your motivation. Review your goals. Look back at the goals you've set and the progress you've made. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, you're moving in the right direction. Tracking progress and setting new goals. As you continue your speaking practice, it's important to track your progress and adjust your goals as needed. Here are some effective ways to measure your improvement. Self-assessment. Regularly assess your own speaking. Record yourself speaking on a variety of topics and compare recordings over time. Note how much more fluent or confident you sound as you practice. Feedback from others. Ask a conversation partner or tutor for feedback on your pronunciation, fluency, and vocabulary usage. Constructive feedback will help you identify areas to focus on. Progress milestones. Set short-term milestones, like improving your pronunciation of a difficult sound or mastering a particular phrase, and long-term goals, like having a 20-minute conversation with a native speaker. When you reach these milestones, take a moment to appreciate your hard work and set new challenges. Practicing speaking in context. Lastly, to truly excel in speaking English, it's essential to practice in realistic contexts. Here's how you can make your speaking practice even more effective. Engage in real-life conversations. Use your language skills in real situations, whether it's a phone call, a chat with a friend, or a formal interview. Real-life conversations are invaluable for developing fluency. Simulation exercises. Engage in role-playing scenarios where you act out different situations, such as ordering food at a restaurant, giving directions, or explaining your job. This will help you practice both formal and informal language in different settings. Immerse yourself in English. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. This could mean watching TV shows in English, attending English-speaking events, or even traveling to English-speaking countries. The more you immerse yourself in the language, the faster you'll see progress in your speaking skills. Thanks for following along with us on this exciting journey to fluency. By now, you've learned that the key to mastering English isn't about endless studying. It's about speaking, practicing, and training your mouth to build the confidence and skills needed for real conversations. So don't stop here. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and remember, fluency is built through real-time use of the language, not just theory. Now, as we wrap up, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips and insights to help you on your path to fluency. Let's keep growing together. See you in the next video.